Next on Worcester News tonight, a local boxing legend and his son bringing boxing back to Worcester. They say they've only just begun. Plus, it's National Pizza Day. We'll give you a look at some local cheesy creations. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Anna Botari. Those stories in just a moment. We begin with a doctor and Holy Cross alum designating the development of a universal flu vaccine as a top priority for the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. Dr. Anthony Fauci says influenza is a very unusual virus, which tends to mutate from year to year, meaning the vaccine which may have protected you last year may not do the same after the virus changes the next year. Dr. Fauci says there needs to be a vaccine inducing a response against the part of the virus that does not change each season.
For the next few years is to make a vaccine that would selectively induce a response against that part of the influenza virus that does not change from season to season. That's the end game and the goal of the universal flu vaccine.
Dr. Fauci's advice for those who have not gotten the flu shot yet is to get vaccinated. He says this year's flu is in its acceleration phase and there could be several more weeks of flu activity. Here in Worcester, doctors at UMass Medical School are looking to take another way to combat the deadly virus. Our Brittany Schaefer has more.
UMass Medical School researchers are studying the flu virus as central Massachusetts sees its worst outbreak since 2003.
We're impacted directly. People we know, our coworkers, our family and friends have come down with the flu, and it's unavoidable. And so it really drives, why I come here.
Dr. Jennifer Wang is working to find better ways to prevent and treat the virus, which peaked in January but continues to have high numbers.
We study the virus and how it replicates and how it mutates. We use a number of laboratory techniques to study the virus, to understand how drug treatments can impact the virus.
There are other, risk factors and everything that we are unsure about, and we want to find out their role.
The researchers' goal is to find a better vaccine, which is only 30% effective this year.
We like to be able to target the virus by designing an effective vaccine. If somebody does get the flu, and despite having had a vaccine, that we have appropriate therapies as needed to target the virus.
Dr. Wong says this year's flu season is bad due to the increase of cases and the severity, which has been resulting in more deaths. She says the variety of ages affected is most surprising.
Younger, healthy people who have become so ill that they've had to come to the hospital. Usually it's people who have other underlying illnesses. It's pretty striking.
Wong says UMass Memorial has seen hundreds of confirmed cases and it's impacting the hospital's waiting times.
They've filled up our hospitals. We're encouraged to, work as quickly as we can and to make the beds available if possible so that everyone gets appropriate care.
Now, because of the severity, Wong says if you have a persistent fever or coughing, you should seek medical help. Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
Now to an update on a story we first brought you last month. Many of the puppies brought to Worcester from islands damaged after Hurricane Irma and Maria are ready for adoption. For the past month, the dogs have undergone a quarantine period to undergo health checks. After hurricanes ravaged the Caribbean in the fall, more than 500 animals were brought up from the islands and placed in various shelters. Through the help of country superstar Kenny Chesney's foundation, Love for Love City. Staff at the shelter say they're happy to help the dogs find their forever homes.
Focus is local first. If our local animals need help, they're our priority. But when space allows, we'd certainly help out anybody else that needs it, whether it be St. Thomas or Florida or Puerto Rico.
Be nice to Turtle Friend.
4 of the puppies are still in quarantine, but we're told they should be ready to go by March. A local legend and his son have brought boxing back to Worcester. 3-time world champion Jose Rivera and his son AJ are giving opportunities to fighters through Rivera Promotions Entertainment. It's been more than a year since the two founded the promotion, and they say they're only just getting started. Our Cam Jandro joins us now live with the details. Cam?
Yeah, Anna, the Riveras have brought some life back to Worcester's boxing scene, and they say, today I caught up with them just a day before their next fight card, and they say they're excited.
I definitely do feel we are on the verge of we're putting Worcester on the map for boxing.
Rivera Promotions Entertainment hosts a weigh-in Friday ahead of their 5th fight night on Saturday. A year after getting its start, CEO and 3-time world champion Jose Rivera says being a small promoter can be hectic.
It's a lot of work to deal with, and it's just me and my son, so it's we're not in a position yet where we can start hiring more help, but we're making the best of it.
Rivera had 48 professional fights and says his experience gives him a unique perspective on the sport.
It's great, because I can relate. I know what they're going through, and every boxer is different, every situation is different, but I have an understanding because I've been what they're going through now.
In 2017, Rivera and his son AJ hosted the first pro boxing show in Worcester in more than 5 years, filling up the Palladium and bringing boxing back to the DCU Center. AJ, who serves as promotion president, says they're happy to provide boxers with a chance to fight in the city.
He's gotten the key to the city before, so for me, giving other fighters the opportunity to do what he did is like my key to the city. It feels good to be able to bring something back to this city. Now there's something to do.
Bobby Harris III is the only Worcester native on Saturday's card. Harris, who's gearing up for his 3rd professional bout, is grateful to fight on Rivera's card.
I don't have to kind of be with somebody or deal with anybody. I don't know who I'm dealing with. I know this man. I know he wants the best interest for me, and I'm safe with him.
With a year under their belt, the hope is to grow Rivera Promotions Entertainment into something much bigger.
My main goal is to bring Rivera Promotions Entertainment to a level that the major promotion companies are at.
Now, tomorrow's fight card at the Palladium starts at 7 o'clock, and Anna, there are a boatload of fights on it.
Thanks, Cam. I bet that's going to be a great event. Yeah. Thanks for that. Well, Clark University is dedicating a bench this weekend in honor of their late basketball coach, Pat Orozco. Orozco passed away in 2016 after a courageous fight with cancer. He was a former team captain and assistant coach for the team. The bench is outside the Neller Center and was installed on Thursday. Men's basketball coach Paul Phillips says Orozco was part of the Clark University family, and this is a fitting tribute.
Permanent thing, and I can always sit on top of him, so to speak, and it's wonderful. I don't think there's a better tribute that can be given by Clark to the Orozco family, to his wife and kids, to his mother, father, brother, than having a dedication of a bench.
The dedication is this Saturday during halftime of the women's basketball game. A 3-alarm fire in Worcester forcing more than a dozen people from their homes. Today's weather making it especially difficult for firefighters to battle in cold and icy conditions. Our Rosalind Flaherty has the story.
I grabbed my children, my roommate grabbed my son, and we got out, and it went up so fast.
It was a scary morning for Kaylee Rankovic as flames ripped through this apartment building in Worcester, forcing her and at least 15 other tenants out.
The other tenants were telling us how there was smoke coming up from the floor. We went back, we went to grab our stuff, and we left the building.
Worcester Fire Chief Mike Lavoie says a small fire started in the basement and quickly spread. He says the construction of the building made it challenging to fight.
It's really broken up, and it's hard to get from one end to the end of the building to the other.
Another challenge was the cold temperatures. The weather made it harder to get water from nearby fire hydrants.
If we have a frozen hydrant, it's a dead hydrant. We just move on.
Nearby, Becker College opened its doors to help. They have several tenants who go to the school.
We have provided them with housing on campus, as well as providing them with toiletries, basic essentials, linens.
Meanwhile, a 2-year-old pit bull thought to be dead made it out alive hours later, covered in soot but in good spirits.
The power of prayer definitely saved everybody today.
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
As questions continue in the state surrounding the future of legalized marijuana, the first ever marijuana social club opens Friday in Worcester. And as our Chandler Walsh explains, the lounge is members only.
Worcester's first members-only marijuana social club sets up shop. To our knowledge, there's nothing like this in the Northeast.
The Canal District's newest business, the Summit Lounge, opened its doors Friday afternoon. Members pay a $50 a month membership fee and can bring in their own cannabis. The club also offers tobacco products and hookahs.
Our members are legally allowed to consume anything that's legal in Massachusetts.
Co-owner Kyle Moon says he hopes the club gets rid of the stigma around the marijuana industry.
It's not the person wearing a hoodie, it's not, the drug dealer on the corner, it's members of the community that just, want to consume their medicine or their medicinal cannabis, or the recreational cannabis in a safe environment.
Some other Water Street businesses seem to be welcoming of the club.
If you look around the Canal District, you have all walks of life, all types of businesses, and that's what makes the Canal District special. So we must open it with open arms.
Tommy Smith says he's seen the Canal District when it was both affluent and run down. He says any business is good for the area.
We want the businesses up and running. Like I said, everybody feeds off of everybody else, and it kind of cleans up the neighborhood.
Moon is a recovering addict who's been sober for 5 years. And while he doesn't use marijuana, he hopes this is a way to give back to the community and handle the legalization of it in a positive way.
So to speak, taken for so many years from my community, and I feel a big portion of my recovery is giving back.
Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
Worcester City Manager Edward Augustus not thrilled about the business, saying in a statement today, the City of Worcester has submitted written testimony to the Cannabis Control Commission that the loophole must be closed and private bring-your-own marijuana clubs must be addressed. It is National Pizza Day, an occasion celebrated by grabbing a slice or eating the whole pizza yourself. National Pizza Day is one of among several unofficial food holidays, but any excuse to eat pizza is appealing to most. Tonight at Steve's Pizza in West Boylston, pizza man extraordinaire Ben George was in the kitchen chefing up some cheesy creations.